Welcome back to the Barry Charles Footy Show. Yes, round 9 review. What a games we had on the weekend. We had some big scores, we had some tight scores, we had some very disappointing teams, and some teams that have come out firing of late, especially the Rabbitohs and the Roosters, really looking like the grand final at the moment. Um, and the concerns for you Broncos fans, that when a couple of good players are out, the other ones don't seem to step up, or the rest of the team just goes disappointing. Without Payne Huss, no good. Just like how Kerrigan, when he went out injured for that time, was very costly. So very much disappointing for you Broncos fans out there. And as you can see, I'm wearing Super Mario. If you haven't watched the movie, go watch it with your kids. Very good movie for you Mario fans out there. But getting back to the footy, yes, the Tigers, are they ready to get on a roll of their own? Or are they going to be a flash in the pan? We'll find out in Magic Round. Well, this week, my tips were absolutely shocking. It started off all right, the Sharks and the Eels. I thought, oh yeah, you're sweet. The Raiders got it done, but the rest was just disaster. The Broncos didn't turn up at all. I didn't pick the Rabbitohs twice in a row, costly for me. The Titans, the Tigers got it done, the Roosters got it done, and the Bulldogs got it done. I was completely wrong with those. Absolutely. I understand the Roosters won, but the Bulldogs shouldn't have won, but they won. And the Tigers, well, upsets can happen, no doubt about it, in rugby league. So my 70% record is looking worse and worse, but I'm 45.5 out of 72 games, and it's a 63% percentage. Now let's look at the Dally-M points for this round for you folks out there. Well, I thought the best player of the round was Mitchell Moses. He just carved up with 19 points. He got 1 try, 7 out of 7 kicks, 1 field goal, 170 run meters, 3 line breaks, 1 line break assist, 1 try assist, 10 tackle breaks, 18 tackles. He had a few blemishes, missed 4, but forced to drop out. He had the all-round game and absolutely outstanding and deserved my 3 points for this round. 2 points, I gave it to Campbell Graham. I thought he was outstanding. He was very good, and he's made his case for selection for New South Wales. Surely, to me, he's a shoo-in to make this team, but who knows. 3 tries, 151 run meters, 1 line break assist, 1 try assist, 7 tackle breaks, 16 tackles. 3 missed. That was a little disappointing if you want to argue something that he did miss out on. But to me, he deserves a New South Wales spot. And 1 point for David Fafita. Yes. On consistently alone in 2023, he should be one of the first picks for Queensland. Whether he gets that selection, I'm not too sure. But he was amazing. He gets my 1 point for 1 try, 183 run meters, 1 line break assist, 1 try assist, 5 tackle breaks, 1 offload, 29 tackles, 1 missed. Outstanding. Very good footy from David Fafita. Some unlucky players, obviously King Guffer, he had a very good game. He probably deserved some points. Conley Lemu, he played very well for the Dolphins. Nat Butcher played well. Nico Hines probably deserved it as well. Latrell Mitchell. And Jack Averillo, he played very good last night. But you can't pick them all. So looking at my Dally-M points for Barry Charles. Footy Show, we've got 2 on top now, Latrell Mitchell and Mitchell Moses has bounced in there. 5 points, Reece Walsh and Deli Cherry-Aarons. Then you go to 3 points, Jared Wallace, Sean Johnson, Cam Munster, Marcelo Montoya, and Nico Hines. 2 points to Dominic Young, Jacob Carrez, Toku Harris, Tommy Turbo, Cody Walker, Nick Meaney and Campbell Graham, and 1 point for Harry Grant, Hammer Hisako, Dylan Edwards, and David Fafita. Now, what's doing in the world of footy right now? Kyle Flanagan, is he going to be a seagull by next week? Well, if you're looking at a bit of ducks and drakes, it might happen. Even though Sorrello said that Flanagan's part of the team, but he also said that Carl Upato and... Sorry for saying it, I'm completely saying the name wrong. I haven't actually heard what his name is, to be honest. And Matt Burton, the long-term 7. Do Manly need Kyle Flanagan? I suggest not. They already have Cooper Johns with Josh Schuster. Obviously, some issues happening there with Josh Schuster. And then having a fight during the week, that's got to be concerning for Manly fans. What's happening there? Yeah, but interesting for obviously his father's there, Shane Flanagan at Manly. That'd be the only reason I'd see him going there. But even if they did, I think it'd only be for one season. Because I feel there's a possibility that Shane Flanagan could be signed by the Dragons as the head coach. I think they're wanting Jason Riles, but I feel that he won't be in the Storm. Yeah, he won't get. He will stay loyal until the Storm job is absolutely out of question. At the moment, Bellamy continues to go one more season, and that could happen for another 3, 4, 5, who knows, with Bellamy. So Jason Riles might want to take up another opportunity, but I think he's waiting for the Storm one. But that could be taken by Billy Slater by that time. So for me, if that's the case, I think it's between Flanagan and Desi Hasler for who will get the Dragons job next season. Which, if the Dragons get Flanagan, I think Kyle Flanagan will end up there. And maybe Ben Hunt will move on. That'll be an interesting one. Will Ben Hunt move on? That's another, but I don't think he'll get the money that he's getting at the Dragons somewhere else. Now, there could be a few teams that might sign him, the Raiders. But, or even Dolphins for that matter. Might be a place for Ben Hunt to go, get back to, yeah. But I can't see that happening either. But other news out there, Roger Tuafasa's sheck, is there a chance of making the team, the Warriors, mid-season? Now, they're going to keep saying no, but the Warriors in the background are trying to push for him to come mid-season, especially with the injury crisis. But I think that'll all come down to Ian Foster if he wants him in the All Blacks, which I believe they do. But that's no guarantee. If Ian Foster says no, then maybe Warriors might be able to fast-track him into the team. And I think most Warriors fans would want him in the team next week. But realistically, is that going to happen? Probably not, but you never know in footy. There's some other things coming out of footy here. I think, one thing to be interesting about here is Sam Walker. Where is Sam Walker going to head? Let's have a look. You got, for me, these are all the teams that are wanting, if the Roosters do not play him the rest of the season, he will be gone, and there's a whole lot of teams lining up for his signature. Gold Coast Titans, Dolphins, West Tigers, Bulldogs, North Queensland Cowboys, the Knights, the Raiders, and even the Warriors are looking at the situation. If Sam Walker becomes available, he is going to be highly looking after. But I think the teams that are more likely to get him, Bulldogs, the Raiders, the Knights, and the Cowboys, because there's a bit of question marks over Townsend's form. So there could be a bit of movement in that space. And if he wants to go back to Queensland or if he wants to stay in Sydney, that's going to be a question for him as well. Could there be potential if you want to put a ball over the Rabbitohs? I can't see the Rabbitohs affording him. But I'm sure if you want to go to a decent team, you'd swap him for Lachlan Elias any day. No pun intended, but Sam Walker's a better player in my opinion. Yes, but to play next to Matt Burton might be something he'd like to do. But we'll see how that goes moving forward. You can even Sharkies look to, but they got so many players here. The Sharkies surely not. I know Matt Moylan's game, but they got Brandon Trindle there. Can't see that happening there. But anyway, speaking of Sharkies, let's go to Thursday night football. Yes, Mulatanu, double. He was outstanding. Talakai running for 200 metres, even though no talk about him in the centres for New South Wales, but he's playing pretty good footy the last couple of weeks. Nico Hines, he played outstanding with 20 points. He was very good. He reminds me a bit of Andrew Johns. You could add Tom Turbo to this list as well, but more Nico Hines is more the Andrew Johns type. When he's in the team, they look like giant killers, but without them, they look like a reserve grade team. So yeah, Nico Hines is in very good football. Let's have a look at Braden. Sorry, just mind blanking, but Braden, he played very well. Unfortunately, he got injured by Jeremiah Nanai for the hip drop, and for Queensland, he's been knocked out for 4 weeks, which gives an opportunity for David Fafita to return to Origin, like for like player. And to be honest, Fafita was playing better than Nanai anyway, so Nanai's not in form. Will he get back in for the Origin? We will see, but he's very much out of form. And we'll need to be working on a lot of stuff in training over the next 4 weeks while he's out. Yes, if we're looking at the what happened on the Sharkies, 56% possession, 82% completion rate. The Cowboys went too bad at 79% completion rate. But the Sharks dominated with 600 more run meters. They had plenty more tackle busts than the Cowboys, more forced dropouts. The Cowboys also really didn't help themselves with 2 sin bins in the second half. Just at the moment, the question marks really have to be for the Cowboys. What's doing there? What is doing? Chad Townsend struggling for mine. He's really, really struggling. Needs to find some form. Is he really injured, or is it just an argument for his bad play? We know he's a lot better than what he's been producing lately, but they need more in attack. Even Valentine Holmes was quiet. Scott Drinkwater was trying his best, but didn't really set up anything either. I have question marks over Wade Graham if he's going to play it on after the season. He's been very quiet this season, hasn't played many minutes. So question marks whether he's going to be here long term. But like Fafita, I think question marks if he should still be in the team, to be honest, with Graham. Wade Graham, still I think he could play more minutes, but they're not playing him there. But anyway, so looking at these 2 teams at the moment, Cowboys their season's over. They are not going to be playing finals football. Don't know what's happened, but they've gone backwards this season. And obviously Jason Tomalalo out hasn't helped either. Let's have a look at Eels versus Knights. Friday night footy. Yes. Mitchell Moses show, alright? When he's in form, he's one of the best players in the comp. But for you Eels fans, you need that every week. And you're not getting it at the moment. He's not the only one on the team, don't get me wrong. Dylan Brown needs to play better every week. If they all played like Clint Guffo every week, they would be outstanding side Parramatta. But Parramatta are another team starting to get into a bit of form. Now, I don't think they'll win the comp this year, but they're starting to turn it around, and maybe you can see them in the top 8. And to win convincingly without Ryan Madison, it's good to see because he was one of their best when he came back from suspension. But let's have a look at a few of the players that played good. Obviously, Clint Gufferson, 3 tries, he was outstanding. Makatoa off the bench, 194 run meters, outstanding. Hopgood, 172 run meters. Dylan Brown, 192 run meters. Will Penasini was very good. Sean Russell, 7 missed tackles. What's happening there? Sean Russell and Josh Hodgson and Brendan Hands not running the ball enough. But to be fair, the rest of the team did the job anyway, so it didn't really matter. The Eels were lucky they weren't playing against a decent team like the Rabbitohs or something, because they were only 64% completion rate. And they were much better. Knights at 67%, so it was really a bit of a a non-event game, you could say. Parramatta run for 600 run meters. 13 line breaks to 3 of the Knights. But let's have a look at some of the good players from the Knights here. Greg Marju played very well. Lockie Miller played well. But both him and Dan Gagai did make some mistakes in defence. So quite a few missed tackles there. Caleb Pollen missed 8 tackles. Crossland 7. I think there was something the Eels did well. They just attacked the little men all night, and they got, especially in the first half, really got the wildest suits out of that. To me, for the Knights, Jack Hetherington not playing the same sort of footy as he had used to be, not getting anywhere near 100 metres a game. Question marks again. I said this last week. Does he deserve to still be in the team? That'll be a question for Adam O'Brien. Yes, and Leo Thompson was a little bit quiet for his standards as well. If I'm looking at these two teams going forward, the Eagles are definitely a top 8 team. The Knights, I think the bubble was boosted. I think Adam O'Brien is on his way out the door. I've been saying that for a couple of years, but surely this is the year. And O'Brien is gone. If they don't make the top 8, he should be gone. Now, the Rabbitohs versus the Broncos at Suncorp Stadium. I really, really thought the Broncos would have played a lot better than they did, but they were outclassed by the Campbell Graham show. Rabbitohs, the possession was fairly even. They had a bit more, 52% more possession. The completion rates wasn't great from either team, so Broncos 73% and the Rabbitohs is 72%. Rabbitohs ran for 300 more metres. With the Broncos won the kicking game. A couple of the Sinsbins for the Broncos. The Broncos only got 1 try out of them when Cameron Murray went off the field. Where on the other side, even though there was only 1 try for the Rabbitohs, they scored 2 quick tries after that, and that was the camel that broke the back of the Broncos defense. So it was only 12 points in it, and once that's been 30 minutes later, it was 22 points of difference, and that was the end of the game there for the Broncos fans. Missed tackles, a couple. They missed quite a few tackles here. You had Kurt Cabwell missed 6. You had Ricky missing 7. 4 from Carrigan, not good. That was probably differently. Herbie Farnwell had a good game, but the Sinbin was very costly. Cobbo ran for 130 run meters, was pretty good. Carrigan, as usual, good 179 run meters. But Marty Tapau could go up another level, not doing much off the bench. And Billy Walters and Corey Pakes were outclassed by Damien Cook, who showed them how to play the hooking role. Tane Milne playing very good footy at the moment. Obviously, Campbell Graham and Tavita Tatola. He's been a welcome return and he's playing very good football. And Tommy Burgess back to his best 188 run meters. Lockley and Ilias could definitely do more for the Rabbitohs. But this is all, if we look at it as complete, the Broncos aren't out of the pit, no doubt about the competition. But you just worry that they're going to go back to the old Broncos again. That's the worry for you Broncos fans out there. Are they going to slip through the cracks? Origin coming up. They're going to have a lot of players out. This is where the season derails again. Time will tell. But they're definitely in a better position this year. If they can especially make a couple more wins before Origin, they'll be just about in finals footy. But yes, they got to play better when a couple of their big game players are out. Now let's go to Saturday afternoon footy at Wagga Wagga. Yes, Wagga Wagga. A game, if you looked at the stats alone, the Raiders should have won by plenty. But instead, they went to extra time and only just snuck home 31-30 over the Dolphins. If you look at the stats, Raiders had 58% of the possession, 90% completion rate. The Dolphins was 75%. And they only just won this game, run for 600 more run meters. 24 offloads to 2. 150 more kicking meters. Dolphins made 12 errors to the Raiders 5. And this game went to golden point. Unbelievable. The Dolphins show some tenacity under huge stress. Jared Croker, he's playing solid football. Good to see. He's pushing towards 300. Matthew Tomoko, 200 run meters. Partner had a mixed bag, 156 run meters, but he came up with some silly penalties and a crucial knock on. Jack White was a bit up and down as well. But obviously all that emotion came out at the end of the game, getting the victory. Obviously now he can concentrate on footy for the rest of the season. And good for you Raiders fans, with them getting the win and Titans getting the win. They can win the comp now. So we've got 11 teams that can win the comp this season after all that, after the round, so which is a lot more than normal. So that shows you how even the competition this year is. There are 11 teams that can win the comp, and that is there. And Tommy Gilbert needs to, obviously, was a little bit quiet to me, so was Kafusi. But Conley Lemu, he got them back in the game. 147 run meters, 2 tries. He just got on, everyone got on the back of him. He played outstanding, and unlucky to lose the game in the end. If I'm trying to look at both of these teams going forward, what do I see? Both of them are obviously a sneaky top 8 chance, but that'll be it. I personally don't see either of them making the top 8, but if the Canberra Raiders can play like that and improve their defence, then they can definitely play finals football. The Dolphins seems to be a team that can come from behind and will keep fighting to the end. I'm probably going to do better than what people expected this year, but whether or not they can make the top 8, I still doubt it. But I like to be proved wrong, so they can prove me wrong. Titans versus Manly. Well, Manly at home, you would have thought Manly would have won easily, but they've played 2 bad games in a row. So worrying signs for you Manly fans. What's doing? Is Anthony Seibold lost the plot as well? No Turbo, no Manly win. This seems to be the case. Titans had a bit more possession in this one, 52%. The completion rate was not great by other team. Yeah, 75% completion rate. So it was pretty even between these two on the completion rates. Manly had 74. Manly had more kicking meters in this 26.10 loss. It was just one of those games that the sin bin of Sipley was very crucial in this game. That's when a couple of tries were led in for Fafita and Khan Pereira, who had a very good game. They really blew the Camel away, 16 points to 2. The game was a lot closer before then. It was like 6 points to 2. So letting in those 2 tries was very costly. And then after that, was never really in doubt. Even though it got to 16 to 10, Titans were always in control. AJ Brimson's injury is obviously a worry. Continues to get injured. But Jayden Campbell's a great replacement, and he ran 100 metres off the bench. So very good, Jayden Campbell. But here we go. Futuweka, Tino, and Fafita, all 3 Queensland. Will it happen? Probably not. But on form, they probably deserve to. Very good footy by all of them. And the Titans, yes, are they a sneaky top 8 chance? Their forward pack is doing a lot of damage. Just whether the key generals can get it done for them in the big games. Yes, yeah, Fafita obviously outstanding. Been very good the last month. Yes, Fafita was outstanding. 191 run meters for Philip Sami, 4 tackle breaks. And with Fafita doing 5 tackle breaks. They need more out of foreign, and Joe Stimson didn't do much in this game. And for Manly, 182 run meters by Tor Pilotu, and Paseka played very well as well. Olakawatu, 147 run meters. Ethan Muller, 127 run meters. But they need more from their bench. Cooper Johns and Jason Saab didn't do much in this game. Manly, obviously, with those 2 performances in a row, can they bounce back? They really need to in Magic Round. Um, Tommy Turbo likely to be back. They really need him playing good football. How about Tigers, the upset of the round? Yes, indeed. The season, I believe, was the upset of the season so far, outside of the Dolphins and the Roosters. Dolphins being the Roosters. Tigers, to be fair, should have won by 18, but couldn't score when needed. Needed a bit more experience. 55% possession, 90% completion rate, and should have won big time. But and but that didn't mean Penrith went too bad at 78% completion rate. Tigers ran 200 more run meters, 12 more tackle breaks, a bit more kicking meters, and less errors, less missed tackles, and they still lost the game. I mean, they only just won the game. 12 points to 8. But it doesn't matter for you Tigers fans, it's a win. Buller was solid again in his second game in football. He's very good. Another great try-saving tackle at the end. Nofaluma wound back the clock, played beautiful footy for trying 145 run meters. Stafford Toa was playing very good football as well. David Clemmer, 270 run meters, and Alex Twell, 173. And on the other side for Panthers, Dylan Edwards playing well. Brian Toho and Taruva, big run meters. But a little bit down on his best misses, Leoto. And obviously, again, Jerome Luai was ahead in the daylights. Didn't do much again. On his current form, shouldn't make New South Wales selection, but he probably will. For your Panthers fans, 4 wins, 4 losses, not the usual thing from the last 3 years. So, but they're starting to lose. The loss of Capewell, Kiko, and Coruscant over time has really started to kick in this season. They're not the same side, but they're defending. They're the best in the league in the defence still, so that'll keep them in most games in the competition, but they need more out of Luai and attack to help out Nathan Cleary. Let's go to the Warriors. Yes, the Warriors versus the Roosters. The Warriors dominated territory, especially early on, but just couldn't get over the try line. They had 53% possession, the Warriors, but the completion rate was only 73%, the one they worst for the season, where Roosters were 76%, but it wasn't the greatest of conditions, obviously. Adam Fanua-Blake, he was very good for the Warriors, 194 run meters. Tom Aylett continues to impress with 128 run meters. Nia Corey has put 2 very good games together and finally playing real good footy for the Warriors. Josh Curran looks a shell of himself at the moment. Very, very disappointing at the moment. Only 38 run meters. What is doing there? Dylan, what he's in there, a couple of mistakes was very costly. I was surprised he didn't play Tane at fullback. I think he should have been fullback. Maybe it's time for Falkman to go in, because all the pressure on Sean Johnson, who's playing very good kicking game, but they just needed a bit more. Missing Tamani Martin, obviously Falkman or Luke Metcalf, if he's nearly ready to play football, should come in and put Walker back on the bench where he was playing very good footy. Bunty Afoa continues to be up and down, which is disappointing for Warriors fans, and continues to be not consistent. James Tedesco, he was very solid, 161 run meters and a 1 line break. Jackson Paulo, good run meters, 179. Joey Manu, more impressive in this one, running some good meters, 147 run meters. 100, yeah. Lindsay Collins was very good as well. Nat Butcher, 57 tackles and a try. He played very good football. Matt Lodge off the bench, he played some good footy. Crichton Tubino will improve, and I'm expecting they will be starting next week. If not next week, the week after. They should be getting their fitness back into them. The Roosters are pushing to be in the top form of the last couple of weeks with the Rabbitohs, and really they are pushing their way up the ladder, the Roosters. Victor Radley staying on the field, this is what the side needs, and he kept himself on the field, so good to see for you Roosters fans, and looking forward. I'm expecting a lot of good things from the Roosters. Warriors, don't be too disheartened. They're going pretty well. A couple more players back next week, there could be a chance. The final game of footy of the round, Dragons versus the Bulldogs. A game the Dragons should have won, but they didn't. 82% completion rate. Bulldogs were 72%. The Dragons had 46 tackle breaks to 21 of the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs missed 46 missed tackles and won this game. Crazy stuff. But they did make quite a few errors, the Dragons, so that's where it all came unstuck for them. Matthew Fegai, 177 run meters. Moses Sully, 150 run meters. Sakalomas, 182 run meters. He was winding back the clock. Blake Laurie, he's been playing a little bit up and down, but when he's playing good footy, he's playing well. Jack DeBellin, his best game in a couple of years. Very good to see. Jack Bird, though, and Ben Murdoch-Massaula didn't do much for the Dragons. Moses Mbai is not bringing much in the attack, and that's probably what was cost them winning this game, to be honest. They need to find someone to play number 9, and that should be Ben Hunt. Jaden Sutherland, 7 in my opinion. Jake Averillo, he was outstanding. 241 run meters, 2 tries, 2 line breaks. Unlucky not to get into the points from this round. For me, Braden Burns played very good. Hayes Peter, 197 meters, very good football. Tavita Pangai Jr. can still be a bolt of New South Wales, playing some solid football. But to me, both these teams are not going to be playing finals football, so there's not much to say about them. But Bulldogs are punching above their weight with all the injuries they're having, and Dragons, as soon as they said that pretty much Anthony Griffin's gone, they have all pretty much only won 1 or 2 games since then. So long season ahead for both teams, but the Bulldogs are showing fight and just to actually get this one. Thank you for watching the Barry Charles Footy Show. I will be back again with the preview show in a couple of days' time. Have a lovely day out there.